I took the job because it was easy. Night shift. Quiet. No people. Just rows of storage units. Endless metal doors. Numbered. Organized. Silent. At least, that's what I thought. The manager didn't ask many questions when I applied. Didn't even look at my resume properly. He just asked one thing. Can you follow instructions? I said yes. That was enough. The place was located far outside the city. No houses nearby. No traffic. Just a long road leading to a massive fenced compound. Rows and rows of storage units. Stretching into darkness. During the day, it probably looked normal. But at night, it felt different. The lights were dim. Buzzing faintly. Casting long shadows between the narrow paths. The kind of place where sound travels too far. And silence feels too loud. My shift started at 11 p.m. Ended at 6 a.m. All I had to do was sit in the small office. Watch the cameras. And do a round every hour. Easy money. That's what I thought. The manager handed me a set of keys before leaving. Heavy. Old. Cold in my hand. There's one rule, he said. I almost laughed. Another rule. But something in his tone stopped me. What is it? I asked. He looked at me for a second. Longer than normal. Then said quietly. Unit 307. A pause. Never open it. My chest tightened slightly. Why? He shook his head. Just don't. That was it. No explanation. No joke. No smile. Just a warning. I nodded anyway. Sure. But the moment he left, that number stuck in my head. It shouldn't have mattered. But it did. Because now, I knew there was something different about it. The first few hours were normal. I sat in the office. Watched the monitors. Drank cheap coffee. Rows of empty units on screen. Still. Quiet. Nothing moving. At 12 a.m. I did my first round. Walking between the rows. Keys in hand. Flashlight cutting through the dark. The air felt colder outside. Not natural cold. Still air. Heavy. Like something was holding its breath. I passed Unit 101. Then 142. Then 198. Each one looked the same. Metal doors. Padlocks. Numbers painted above them. Nothing unusual. Until I reached the far end. The last row. Where the lights didn't fully reach. My flashlight flickered slightly. Great, I muttered. I kept walking. Then I saw it. Unit 307. At the very end. Isolated. Different. Not because of how it looked, but because of how it felt. The air around it was colder. Quieter. Like sound didn't belong there. I stepped closer. The number 307 was slightly faded. Scratched. Like someone had tried to remove it. The lock on it was bigger than the others. Heavier. Old. But something else caught my attention. The door. It wasn't fully shut. My chest tightened instantly. What? There was a gap. Small. Barely noticeable. But enough. The manager said never open it. But he never said it would already be open. A cold wave ran through my body. Someone broke in. That was the logical answer. Had to be. I stepped closer slowly. The gap in the door. Dark inside. Too dark. My flashlight barely reached past it. Hello? My voice sounded wrong. Too quiet. No echo. No response. I reached for the door. Hesitated. Don't open it. The rule echoed in my head. But it was already open. And if something was inside, it was my job to check. Right? My hand touched the cold metal. I pushed it slightly. The door creaked. Loud. Too loud. Then stopped. Like something inside resisted it. My chest tightened. Stuck. I pushed a little harder. The gap widened. Just enough to look inside. Darkness. No boxes. No furniture. Nothing stored. Just empty space. But it didn't feel empty. It felt deep. Like the inside was bigger than it should be. My flashlight flickered again. Then, something moved. My breath stopped. Not clearly. Just a shift. Like something inside the darkness. Adjusted. No. I stepped back instantly. That's not possible. There was nothing in there. Nothing physical. But I felt it. Something inside that unit was aware of me. The light flickered harder now. And for a split second, I saw it. Not fully. Just a shape. Too tall. Too still. Standing inside. Watching the gap. Watching me. My chest slammed violently. I backed away quickly. Nope. No. I'm done. I turned around. Started walking fast. Didn't look back. Didn't stop. But as I walked away, I heard something. From behind me. From Unit 307. A sound. Soft. Slow. Like something stepping forward. Toward the door. And then, a voice. Low. Barely a whisper. You opened it. My blood ran cold. Because I didn't. Not fully. But something inside didn't seem to care about the difference. I didn't stop walking until I reached the office. Heart racing. Hands shaking slightly. Just a shadow. I kept repeating it. Just a shadow. The door closed behind me. Silence again. Normal silence. Not like out there. I sat down hard in the chair. Stared at the monitors. Everything looked normal. Rows of units. Still. Empty. No movement. I exhaled slowly. See? Nothing. Then I checked the far camera. Row 300. My chest tightened instantly. Unit 307. The door was closed. Completely shut. I froze. No. I leaned closer to the screen. Zoomed in. Locked. The heavy padlock hanging exactly where it should be. No gap. No opening. Nothing. That's not possible. I had just seen it open. I had pushed it. I heard it. My breathing became uneven. Did I imagine it? The camera flickered once. Static. Then, something appeared. Inside the frame. Right in front of Unit 307. A shape. Tall. Still. My chest slammed. No. It stood there for a second. Not moving. Not reacting. Then the screen glitched again. And it was gone. I stumbled back from the desk. That's not a glitch. The system beeped softly. New alert. camera signal unstable, Zone 3. Zone 3. Row 300. Of course. My stomach dropped. Great. Protocol said I had to check. Physically. I stared at the door. Didn't move. Forget protocol. But something felt worse. If I didn't check, whatever was happening out there would keep happening. And I'd have no idea what it was. That thought scared me more. Slowly, I stood up, grabbed the flashlight, the keys. My hands felt colder this time. Heavier. Like I already knew what I'd find. The door opened with a soft creak. The air outside hit me instantly. Colder than before. Not natural. Dead. I stepped out. Closed the office behind me. The lights flickered above. Buzzing faintly. Long shadows stretched between the rows. I walked slowly this time. Careful. Listening. Every step echoed too far. Too loud. I passed Unit 198. Then 241. Then 290. Closer. My chest tightened with every step. Just check and leave. That's it. That's all I needed to do. I reached the last row. The light barely touched it. Mostly darkness. My flashlight cut through it weakly. And there it was. Unit 307. Exactly where it had been. Silent. Still. Locked. I approached slowly. Closer. Closer. The number looked worse now. Scratched deeper. Like something had been trying to erase it from the outside. Or from the inside. My chest tightened. Stop thinking. I crouched slightly. Looked at the lock. Solid. Untouched. No damage. No sign of forced entry. Nothing. I reached out carefully. Touched the metal. Cold. Too cold. My fingers twitched slightly. It's just metal. Then. A sound. From inside. Soft. Slow. Like something dragging across the floor. My entire body froze. No. I leaned closer. Without thinking. Pressed my ear lightly against the door. Silence. Then. Breathing. Not mine. Slow. Deep. Right on the other side. My chest stopped. I jumped back instantly. Nope. My voice cracked. That's not happening. The flashlight flickered violently. On. Off. On. For a split second. The door moved. Just slightly. From the inside. My blood ran cold. Something's in there. The lock rattled softly. Not breaking. Just moving. Like something was testing it. Understanding it. My breathing became fast. Uneven. It's trying to get out. The lights above me flickered harder now. Buzzing louder. Then. Every light in that row went out. Darkness. Complete. My flashlight the only thing left. Shaking in my hand. I pointed it at the door. The beam hit the metal. Steady. Still. Then. Something blocked the light. From the inside. A shape pressing against the door. My breath stopped completely. It was right there. Right behind it. Tall. Too tall. The outline unnatural. Its head. Almost touching the top. No. The metal creaked. Bending slightly inward. Not enough to break. Just enough to show pressure. Strength. Something stronger than it should be. The voice came again. Closer this time. Clearer. You shouldn't have looked. My chest felt like it was collapsing. I didn't open it. Silence. Then. A soft, slow response. You made it aware. The words hit harder than anything else. Aware. The door stopped moving. The pressure disappeared. The shape faded back. Gone. Just empty metal again. But I knew it wasn't gone. It was just waiting. Learning. My flashlight flickered one last time. And when it steadied, I saw something new. At the bottom of the door. A thin black line. Moving slowly outward. Sliding under the gap. My breath stopped. What is that? It spread slightly. Not liquid. Not shadow. Something in between. Alive. And then it stopped. Right at my feet. Like it had reached its limit. Or like it was testing the boundary. The voice whispered again. Soft. Satisfied. Now we know where you are. My chest went cold. Because whatever was inside Unit 307 wasn't trying to get out anymore. It had already found another way. I didn't move. That black line? Stopped right at my shoes. Waiting. Like it knew I was watching it. My breath felt stuck in my chest. Don't move. I whispered it to myself. The line twitched slightly. Not forward. Not back. Just reacting. Like it heard me. The silence around me felt wrong. Too heavy. Even the wind was gone. No sound. Nothing. Then the lights above flickered back on. Sudden. Harsh. I flinched. Looked down instantly. The line was gone. My chest tightened. No. I stepped back quickly. Scanning the ground. Nothing there. No trace. No mark. Like it had never been there. But I knew it had. I felt it. Watching me. I turned toward the office. Walked fast this time. Didn't stop. Didn't look back. Every step felt like something was following just behind me. Close enough to touch. But never visible. I reached the office door. Opened it fast. Stepped inside. Locked it immediately. My hands were shaking now. This isn't normal. I went straight to the monitors. Checked row 300. Unit 307. Locked. Still. Nothing outside. Nothing inside. My chest rose slowly. Okay. Then the screen flickered. Static. Just for a second. And when it came back, something was different. I leaned closer. The camera angle hadn't changed. The unit was still there. But the ground, in front of it, was darker. Like something had spread across it. My heart dropped. No way. I zoomed in. The image blurred slightly. Then sharpened. The dark patch was moving. Slowly. Sliding across the ground. Away from Unit 307. My chest tightened hard. It's out. The patch stretched unnaturally. Too smooth. Too controlled. Not liquid. Not shadow. Something else. Something that didn't belong here. The system beeped again. New alert. Multiple camera interference, Zone 3. Then another. Zone 2. Then another. Zone 1. My breathing stopped. No, no. I switched feeds rapidly. Every camera showing the same thing. Dark movement. Spreading. Sliding between units. Crawling along walls. Across the ground. Like it was exploring. Mapping the place. Learning it. My chest tightened painfully. It's everywhere. The lights in the facility flickered again. Harder this time. Some going completely dark. Others dimming. The system struggled to keep up. Then, the speakers crackled. Loud. Sudden. I flinched back. Static filled the room. Then, a voice. Hello? My heart stopped. That voice was mine. Exactly mine. I stared at the speaker. No. Can you hear me? Same tone. Same rhythm. Like a recording. But it wasn't. It sounded live. Stop, I said quietly. The voice paused. Then. Stop, it repeated. Perfect mimic. My chest tightened harder. You're not me. Silence. Then. You're not me. My breath hitched. It wasn't just copying words. It was copying timing. Emotion. Everything. The screens flickered again. One camera zoomed in automatically. Row 215. My chest tightened. That was halfway between me and the exit. The dark shape was there now. Larger. More defined. Still low to the ground. But rising slightly. Like it was trying to form something. No way. The voice came again. Closer now. Not just from the speakers. From the hallway. Outside the office. Open the door. My blood ran cold. That was my voice. Right outside. I'm not opening anything. Silence. Then. A soft knock. 3 times. Slow. Controlled. My chest tightened painfully. Open the door. I stepped back. Shaking my head. No. The handle moved slightly. Testing. Like before. Then stopped. The voice whispered softly. You let me out. My breathing broke. I didn't. You saw me. The words hit hard. That's not the same. Silence again. Then. It is. The lights inside the office flickered. Once. Twice. Then steadied. I looked at the monitors again. Every screen now showed the same image. The office door. From outside. My chest tightened. The camera zoomed slowly. Closer. Closer. And then. I saw it. Standing there. Right outside the door. My shape. My height. My face. Looking directly into the camera. Expressionless. Perfect. That's not me. The figure tilted its head slightly. Exactly how I do when I'm confused. Then it smiled. Slow. Unnatural. My stomach dropped. The voice came one last time. From everywhere now. Speakers. Hallway. Inside my head. I don't need the unit anymore. My chest went cold. Because whatever was inside 307 wasn't contained anymore. It was learning. It was copying. And now. It was becoming me. The handle stopped moving. Silence returned. But it wasn't empty. It was waiting. I stood there, staring at the door. My reflection faint in the glass panel. Except it didn't move when I did. My chest tightened instantly. No. I stepped back. The reflection stayed still for half a second. Then slowly matched me. Too late. Too delayed. I looked away fast. Don't look at it. The monitors flickered again. Every screen still showing the door. From outside. From different angles. And that thing. Still standing there. Looking in. Watching me. Then it moved. Slowly. Leaning closer to the door. Until its face filled the camera. My face. Perfect detail. But the eyes. Empty. Flat. Like nothing was behind them. Open the door, it whispered. Not loud. Not demanding. Just certain. I shook my head. No. The lights flickered hard. The room dimmed. Then. Something hit the door. Not a slam. Not force. A soft press. From the other side. Like it was leaning its full weight against it. The metal creaked slightly. My chest tightened. It's testing it. The speakers crackled again. Then. My voice. But different. Lower. Closer. Why are you afraid? I swallowed hard. Because you're not real. A pause. Then. Neither are you. The words hit deep. Wrong. Too wrong. The monitors changed again. Now showing inside the office. Different angles. Corners I couldn't see directly. My chest tightened. Why show this? Then I saw it. On one of the screens. Behind me. A shadow. Tall. Standing just out of view. My breath stopped. No. I turned fast. Nothing there. Empty room. But the screen still showed it. Still standing. Still watching. You're looking the wrong way, the voice whispered. I froze. Slowly looked back at the monitor. The shadow moved. Closer. Reaching toward me. From behind. My chest slammed. I spun around again. And this time. Something was there. Not fully visible. Just a distortion. Like the air was bending. Shifting. Trying to take shape. Stay back, I said. It didn't stop. The distortion moved closer. Step by step. Matching my pace backward. The room felt smaller. Tighter. Like it was closing in. The door behind it creaked slightly. Still locked. But the pressure on it increasing. The thing outside hadn't left. The thing inside was getting closer. Trapped between both. My breathing became fast. Uneven. There's two of you. Silence. Then. There's only one. The distortion sharpened for a split second. And I saw it. Not my face. Not fully human. Just pieces. Trying to match me. Failing. Adjusting. My stomach dropped. You're still learning. It stopped moving. Tilted its head slightly. Exactly like before. Then the voice changed. Less like me. More like something else. Yes. A pause. But not for long. The monitors flickered violently. Every screen glitching. Flashing images too fast to process. Rows of units. Darkness. Something inside 307. Something bigger than the unit itself. My chest tightened painfully. What is in there? For 1 second. Everything stopped. Every screen froze. One image remained. Unit 307. Door open. Fully open. And inside. Darkness. But not empty. Deep. Endless. Like it didn't belong to this place. Something moved inside it. Massive. Far too big to fit. Yet somehow contained. The voice whispered softly. That's where I came from. My breathing stopped. That's not a storage unit. Silence. Then. It's a door. The word echoed in my head. A door. Not for storage. Not for people. For something else. Something that shouldn't be here. The distortion in front of me stepped closer. Now only inches away. Cold air hitting my face. And you opened it. My chest tightened hard. I didn't open it. A pause. Then. You looked inside. The realization hit. Hard. It didn't need the door fully open. It didn't need force. Just attention. Just awareness. That was enough. The thing reached out slowly. Its shape stabilizing. More human now. More like me. Now I don't need it anymore. The door behind it suddenly went silent. No pressure. No movement. Because it didn't matter anymore. It was already inside. The thing smiled slightly. Almost perfect now. Now I need you. My chest froze. Because whatever came through Unit 307 wasn't trying to escape anymore. It was trying to replace me. Now I need you. Those words didn't echo. They settled. Heavy. Final. I stepped back slowly. No. The thing didn't react immediately. Just watched me. Studying. Like it was measuring something. Then it took another step forward. Closer. Too close. I turned and ran. Didn't think. Didn't plan. Just ran. Out of the office. Into the rows. The air hit me instantly. Colder than before. The lights flickered wildly overhead. Some going out completely. Others buzzing violently. Shadows stretched unnaturally between the units. I ran past 198. Past 142. My footsteps echoed too loud. Too fast. Like something else was matching them. Right behind me. I didn't look back. Didn't dare. The exit gate was ahead. A faint light beyond it. Just reach it. That's all I needed. Just get out. I got closer. Closer. Then. The lights died. All of them. Total darkness. My momentum stopped me for a second. I stumbled. Caught myself. Stay calm. My flashlight flickered on weakly. Barely enough to see. The gate was gone. My chest dropped. No. In its place. More rows. More units. Endless. That wasn't possible. I knew the layout. There was no extension here. But now. There was. I turned slowly. Everything looked wrong. The rows were longer. Deeper. Stretching into darkness that didn't belong. It changed the place. Or maybe. I wasn't in the same place anymore. A sound came from behind me. Footsteps. Slow. Measured. Not running. Following. I raised the flashlight slightly. Pointed it down the row. Nothing. Then. Movement. At the edge of the light. A figure stepped forward. My chest froze. It was me. Same face. Same body. But the expression. Empty. Then another shape appeared behind it. Different face. Another worker. Then another. More. Stepping out from between the units. All wrong. All still. Watching me. They're all copies. My breathing became uneven. How many? The one in front stepped closer. Enough, it said softly. My voice. Perfect. I backed away slowly. There's no way out, is there? Silence. Then. There was. A pause. Before you looked. The words hit hard. I swallowed. This isn't real. The copies didn't react. Just stood there. Then they all moved at once. One step forward. Perfect sync. My chest slammed. No. I turned and ran again. Different direction. Didn't matter which. Just away. The rows blurred past me. Numbers didn't make sense anymore. 211. 355. 122. They weren't in order. They weren't even real anymore. Everything twisted. Changed. Shifted when I wasn't looking directly at it. My breath burned in my chest. Keep moving. That's all I had. Movement. Then. I stopped. Without meaning to. Because I saw it again. Unit 307. Right in front of me. My heart dropped. No. I had run away from it. Far from it. But here it was. Waiting. The door. Open. Fully open. Darkness inside. Deeper than before. Pulling at me. The air around it felt wrong. Like gravity itself bent toward it. The copies appeared behind me again. Closing in slowly. This is where you belong, the voice said. I shook my head. No. This is where you came from. That's not true. Silence. Then. You just don't remember yet. My chest tightened painfully. What does that mean? The darkness inside the unit shifted. Something massive moving far within it. Closer. Watching. Waiting. You were never outside, the voice whispered. My breath stopped. No. You were always part of this. My mind froze. Memories flickered. Broken. Unclear. Like something was missing. Or replaced. The copy stepped closer. Now only a few feet away. You were sent out, it continued. To observe. A pause. To learn. My chest tightened harder. No. I came here for a job. Silence. Then. That's what we needed you to believe. The truth hit like a shock. Not a realization. A forced understanding. My thoughts didn't feel like mine anymore. The darkness inside 307 pulsed. Like it was alive. Calling me. Return, the voice said softly. The copies stopped moving. Waiting. Not forcing. Not pushing. Because they didn't need to. My legs felt heavy. Pulled forward. Toward the open unit. No. But I stepped forward. Slowly. Like something inside me agreed with it. You belong here. The darkness shifted again. Something inside. Recognizing me. Welcoming me. My breathing slowed. My thoughts quieted. Everything felt calm. Too calm. Just step inside. My hand lifted slightly, reaching toward the edge of the door. Colder pulling me closer. And we'll send another. My chest froze. Another. Another me. Back outside. Back into the world. The realization hit. This wasn't just one copy. It was a cycle. Endless. And I was part of it. My foot moved forward, crossing the threshold. The darkness swallowed the light instantly. And behind me, the door began to close. Darkness swallowed everything the moment I stepped in. No light. No sound. No floor beneath my feet. Just nothing. But I was still standing. My breathing echoed strangely. Too loud. Too close. Like the sound wasn't leaving my body. Hello? No response. Then, a shift. Not around me. Inside the darkness itself. Like it wasn't empty. Like it was something waiting to take shape. My chest tightened. This isn't a room. The realization hit slowly. There were no walls. No ceiling. No space at all. Just depth. Endless depth. Then I saw something. Far ahead. A faint outline. Huge. Too large to understand. What is that? It moved. Slow. And the entire darkness shifted with it. My breath stopped. That's not inside the unit. A whisper came from everywhere at once. The unit is inside it. My chest dropped. No. The shape moved closer. Not walking. Not floating. Just becoming clearer. And the closer it got, the more I understood. This wasn't one thing. It was many. Layers. Shapes overlapping each other. Trying to form something familiar. Trying to form people. Faces. Bodies. Movements. All wrong. All incomplete. Your copies, I whispered. A pause. Then. We are attempts. The words echoed through me. Attempts. The shape shifted again. And suddenly, I saw something clear. Rows. Not storage units. Rows of people. Standing still. Frozen. Hundreds of them. All identical. All slightly different. All wrong. My chest tightened painfully. These are all failed. Silence. Then. Not failed. A pause. Learning. The realization hit like a shock. Every copy. Every version. Was practice. Studying behavior. Studying movement. Studying identity. Until it got it right. Until it became perfect. My breathing became uneven. And the ones outside. Silence. Then. Progress. My chest dropped. No. The shape moved closer again. Now towering over everything. Watching me. You are progress, it said softly. My stomach twisted. I'm not one of you. A pause. Then. You are part of us. Memories flickered again. Broken. Incomplete. Things didn't feel real anymore. My past. My job. Even this place. None of it felt solid. Like it had been built. Given to me. You were sent out, the voice continued. To experience. My chest tightened. To observe. To become. The words echoed deep. And suddenly. Everything made sense. Why I got the job so easily. Why the manager didn't care. Why the rule existed. It wasn't to keep people out. It was to keep something in. Or to guide something back. My legs felt weak. So what happens now? The darkness shifted again. Closer. Wrapping around me slightly. Not touching. Just surrounding. You return. My breath caught. And the one outside. Silence. Then. Continues. My chest went cold. Another me. Walking out. Living. Replacing. Spreading. How many are there? The answer came instantly. Not enough. The darkness pulsed once. And I felt it. Something pulling at me. Not physically. Inside. My thoughts. My identity. Breaking down. You are complete, it said softly. So we keep you. My chest tightened painfully. No. But the darkness moved. Faster this time. Wrapping around me. Not like arms. Like absorption. My vision blurred. My body felt distant. Wait. My voice sounded far away now. Don't. You are home, it whispered. Everything went black. Completely. And for a moment. There was nothing. Then. Something opened. Not my eyes. Something deeper. And I could see. Not the room. Not the facility. But Earth. From far away. Small. Bright. And full of life. The voice whispered one last time. Send the next one. Light returned slowly. Not bright. Not warm. Just enough to see. I was standing outside. Cold air. Open space. Rows of units stretching behind me. Normal. Like nothing had happened. I blinked slowly. What was I doing? My head felt heavy. Foggy. Like I had just woken up from a dream I couldn't remember. I looked around. The facility looked the same. Quiet. Still. The office light was on in the distance. Everything exactly where it should be. I checked my hands. Steady. Normal. No shaking. No fear. Just calm. Too calm. Must have zoned out. That made sense. Long shifts. Isolation. Your brain plays tricks on you. That had to be it. I turned slowly. And saw Unit 307. Closed. Locked. Silent. The number looked faded. Scratched. Like always. I stared at it for a second. Something about it felt familiar. Important. Then that feeling faded. Like it didn't matter anymore. I looked away. And started walking toward the office. Each step steady. Controlled. Like I had done this 1,000 times before. Inside the office, the monitors glowed softly. All cameras normal. No glitches. No movement. Just empty rows. I sat down at the desk. Hands resting naturally on the controls. Perfect position. Like I belonged there. The radio crackled softly. Night shift check-in. I picked it up. Yeah. My voice came out smooth. Normal. Everything's fine. A pause. Any issues? I glanced at the screens. Unit 307 appeared briefly on one monitor. Still. Closed. I smiled slightly. No issues. The radio went silent. I set it down. Then leaned back in the chair. Calm. Relaxed. Watching the screens. Watching the facility. Observing. A small notification blinked on the system. New access log created. I didn't react. Just opened it. A single entry appeared. Unit 307, opened. Timestamp, 2:13 a.m. My chest didn't tighten. Didn't react at all. Because it made sense. That's how it worked. Someone always opens it. Someone always looks inside. That's all it takes. I closed the log. The camera shifted slightly. One screen zoomed in on the entrance gate. A car approaching slowly. Headlights cutting through the darkness. New arrival. My eye stayed fixed on the screen. Watching. Waiting. The car stopped outside. Engine off. A figure stepped out. New worker. Confused. Looking around. Exactly like I had. A faint smile formed on my face. Natural. Perfect. Because I understood now. This place doesn't trap people. It doesn't chase them. It doesn't force anything. It waits. And when someone looks inside, that's when it begins. I stood up slowly. Walked toward the door. Keys in hand. Ready. Because someone has to explain the rules. I opened the office door. Cold air drifting in. The new worker looked at me. Relieved to see someone else. Hey, he said. I nodded once. Calm. And then I told him the same thing I had been told. There's one rule. A pause. Unit 307. I held his gaze. Never open it. He nodded. Of course he did. They always do. But it doesn't matter. Because sooner or later, they all look. And when they do, something inside looks back. And the moment that happens, we send another one out. And keep the one that came in. Because Unit 307 isn't a storage unit. It's a door. And it's always open.